what if you could go from an introvert to an extrovert, but only when you needed to be, right? You can go back to being an introvert anytime. If you had the skills as an introvert to talk to people, do presentations, even sales calls or sales meetings, and do it confidently, how would that change things for you? I know. My name's Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the Go-Getter Family Real Estate Investing Academy. Tonight, I have a special guest with me, Ike Rayford. He's certified in DISC behavioral assessments, helping people to understand themselves and also understand people's behaviors around them and use that effectively to be able to persuade them and to help them more effectively. So I want you guys to hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, you can consider subscribing, or you can just be a player about it. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We some go-getters. Hope you a go-getter. Let's get it. I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We some go-getters. Hope you a go-getter. Let's get it. I'm a go-getter. Hustle to the end. We some no-quitters. Knock it out the park. We for show hitters. Right, left hemisphere. That's a dome splitter. Yeah. We control our own destiny. Make moves. Cultivate whole legacy. Creative finance. Bring more ecstasy. The right ingredients. Now that's a dope recipe.
Okay, got my dog Ike Rayford with me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Now this is gonna be a treat. So if you got, yeah, we're gonna grill him too. Now get all the good information out of old Ike tonight. So
I love it.
If you guys have any questions, I want you to put where you're from, and Ike and I will answer your questions on the second half of the show. All right. So this is Ike Rayford. He's certified in DISC behavioral assessments. He speaks around the country. He's got a consulting company. And then he also owns another business, and he consults for me and my team, does trainings. So he's a regular Renaissance man. So Ike, go ahead, man. Introduce yourself to the people real quick. Tell us a little bit about you.
What up with it, man? First of all, man, I gotta tell you, I love that little intro, bro. I said, man, I was up for hitting it. I mean, I'm feeling it. Right?
Yeah.
Nice touch, my brother. Nice touch.
All right. I got that made from a friend of mine too, man. He's originally from Sioux City, so you know.
See, that's what's up. Exactly, keeping it in the family and letting you know that we bringing you up with us, right? We ain't leaving nobody back. If you want to go, we want to go, and that's really what I'm about, folks. I'm Ike Rayford, as introduced, been around a long time, originally from Dallas, Texas. And as Gene pointed out, I am a certified DISC behavioral assessment, you name it. I also am certified in 6 working geniuses, also in colors. I mean, you name it. So we got a smorgasbord of assessments here for folks, and want to make sure that we get them where they are. And so, as Gene pointed out, man, I'm excited to be here tonight to talk about, help you out, give you the tools that you need, but ultimately to, make sure that you're ready to go, because we got an event coming up, and I'm pumped and ready to do this thing. And so, man, that's where it's headed.
Yeah, hey, the countdown is happening. I think we're about 18 days away from the live event in Houston. So that's gonna be fire, man. We're getting wheels in the air, as they say right now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yes, it's exciting. So the title on the thumbnail, Ike, was go from introvert to extrovert, and how that can help you to be successful in a real estate business, but really it'll help you be successful in any business if you can make that switch. Absolutely. So talk to me about why that's important if you're an introvert, to be able to make that switch. Why is that important? Why would a person want to do that?
Absolutely. As we all understand and know what an introvert is, we understand introverts are usually reserved, and I don't want to throw out the tag of being shy. I want to say, they're just, reserved, kind of laid back, patient, and really, just not into really trying to be all out there, and those things. And so, there's an old saying that if you are going to sell an item, it is much better for you to go up and yell from a treetop than it is to stay on the ground and whisper, right? And so, to answer that question, that's what it really comes down to, man. What do you want the people to know that you need them to know so that you can get what you need done or taken care of. And that's what we're trying to do, is help you. We're trying to give you that tool so, for a moment, snapshot in time, right? That you can just say, you know what, this is what I got, this is what I need to do, and boom. And then you can go back to your moment, because we know as introverts, they need to recharge, get ready for the next day, get ready for the next moment, and then we're able to, boom, go and do it all over again. And so, man, that's a good subject. Hey, bring that.
Absolutely. Well, and see, this is the thing about being introverted, right? And there's nothing wrong with being an introvert, and that's not what we're implying. That's definitely not what we're saying. Actually, Ike is an introvert, so he tells me. I would have never known had he not told me, and then a couple of observations from the disc too. I was like, oh, that makes sense now.
Right.
But if we're introverted, we're an introvert, and we're good at something. We've got a talent that brings value to the world, to society, that can start a business, be the backbone of a business. If we have that talent, but we can't articulate that, as Ike said, shout it from the treetops rather than, sitting at a desk, getting it out there, right? Then not many people know about it, right? How will we ever let them know and generate the buzz that we would need to? So that's why it's important too,
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, it really is. As we know, when it comes to marketing, and when we say marketing, we're talking about being able to market yourself, being able to market a product, being able to market all of those things that matter. And so marketing is really putting it out there. And so when we think about introversion, extroversion, and really, putting yourself in the best position you can to be successful, because ultimately that's what we're trying to do, is be a success. Whether it's selling an item, whether it is presenting something, whatever it may be. And in this, field and what we're trying to do, guess what? You've got to talk to people, right? You got to be able to make it happen. And again, like you said, we're not saying that you need to change who you are. We're not saying that you need to, be something different. We're saying for a moment, we need you to step out, take care of your business, handle your business, as they say. And then, go back, get what you need, and then get ready for the next go with it.
Yes. So man, there is a lot to unpack here, because I was thinking about, as you were talking, how most all of us become introverts when we have a new opportunity and we're beginning to learn a new skill along with that opportunity. And when we go out to implement that the first few times around, we're introverted at that moment. Yes, because we're like, I'm not good at saying it. I don't know about, and then you just go into that shell.
Exactly. That's exactly it. We all, and that's what's so beautiful about it, right? All of us really, at the end of the day, we encompass everything that each person feels and each person has to understand. And so you're absolutely right. When you learn something new, you're a little, unsure about it, and you're like, okay, I know what I got to do. And then you go do it. You step out there. As they say, to be a great salesperson, you got to sit up there and get your nose blooded a few times, right? And but guess what? Once you realize that, okay, you know what, I'm living for another day. I know how to maneuver and know how to manipulate this thing to make it work. And that's what, as introverts, we learn to do, is really manipulate that moment so that we can go and take care of what man, I stand in front of people literally every week. And if you really know me, you know that that's just not my cup of tea. But I have trained myself that, what, I got to go do what I got to do. And at the end of the day, man, as the kids say, or the common vernacular, I got to get my bag. And so,
man,
if that means speaking for a few minutes, guess what? And talking to some people, hey, I'm gonna take care of my business.
And you said it, I got to get my bag now. And I always say this to my people, so I gotta ask you the question, but I say this to people, that we seek guarantees first off, we seek guarantees, and we need to give opportunity the benefit of the doubt if we want to grow and get control of our time and get different results, right? If we're
Yes.
seeing different results, but we will get uncomfortable now when desperation hits, because if we don't get a job, or if we got fired from our job, or we got laid off from our job, or we quit, we will get uncomfortable when we start filling out that resume and trying to pad that thing up and remember things, and then when we call our friends, man, our homeboys, our homegirls, like, hey, now I'm going to have this company call you. I put you down as a reference. So make sure you say all the good stuff about me. That number that you don't know, that's the job, right? And then we'll fill out that application. We'll go sit in front of a person, let them ask us questions, picking over our past. And we know that they're judging us, right? Yes. For acceptance. To be accepted into this group where we'll be able to get paid once a week or every other week. And that is incredibly uncomfortable.
Incredible. And guess what? Time in and time out, we do it, right?
Man.
Time in and time out, we do it. We do it for, guess what? A moment. It's that moment. I mean, and it said a moment's insight is sometimes worth life's experiences, right? I mean, think about that. A moment's insight is sometimes worth a life's experience. So just a moment, right, for us. And guess, and in that next moment, we go be like, man, we do that. I got through it.
Yes. And that's the whole thing. You're like, I did it, like when but you got to build up the courage. So let me ask you this, Ike. And if any of you guys have questions, put it in the comments. Again, put where you're from. We like to know where people are from around here. We got some people from all over right now. And people that are watching right now, if there's ever been a time that you were intimidated by or afraid to put yourself out there, but you did it anyway, drop some flames in the comments, right? If there's ever been a time you were afraid to put yourself out there, but you did it anyway, right, and you got a good outcome, drop some flames in the comments for us. All right, drop some flames. So Ike, I've known you for a while. Yes. And now you were definitely an up and comer, man, when we first met, man. Now I remember we met at Perkins. It was that situation for the body camera thing. But so I've known you to be, an extrovert when necessary. Talk to me, man, about the moment in life that you feel, if you can remember, when you knew, like, I gotta be able to make that full shift to, going all in on being an extrovert at a high level when necessary,
Absolutely. To be honest with you, what I realized, man, I played football in college, and I was always, or in high school and then into college. And I was always a leader, captain of the team or whatever. And so, but I was always laid back. I didn't do a lot of the rah, rah, rah. I didn't try to get in people's face and all those things. And so I just kind of let my skills and those things show up. What I realized when I got to college, having played football and running track, was that I wasn't, people knew my skills, but people didn't kind of see me as, it was like they looked over me in a sense. And I was just like, what is this about? And what I started recognizing, because I am a person who analyzes, who really takes notice of what's going on and what's happening. And what I realized was that because I wasn't as vocal as most people, and when they say that the squeaky wheel gets the oil, that's an introverted, extroverted moment. Because guess what? When you have people, when that wheel is squeaking and it's saying, "Hey, oil me," that's extroversion. That's what you putting out there saying, "This is what I need." And so I wasn't that person. I was the person who was like, "I need some oil. Well, let me go find the oil." And then I'm trying to oil myself, right? And trying to figure it out, trying to take it all in, do it on my own, right?
Yes.
And then I realized that, wait a minute, I'm missing something. Because one, we don't have to recreate the wheel. And two, say what you want, say what you need. And that's when I realized, I got to put it out there. I gotta say what I need. I gotta be the squeaky wheel so I can get that oil. And that's
better or worse, yeah.
Exactly. And then I realized that, guess what? I don't always have to do that. I just need to do it when I need to do it. And then I can come back. I get it. I love it up, and then I'm like, okay, what's the next time? And what's the next
right.
and
Right.
so that's where it came. When I go speak, when I go train, when I go do things, folks, I take a moment, take a deep breath. All right, let's do this. I put my game face on. And that's where it's at right there, because I've had a lot of success, in doing what I do. And I want to keep climbing.
Yes, absolutely. So we're about to get into that too, but you said it like when we're introverted, if we're not that squeaky wheel trying to, get the oil that we need to run smooth, well, then we end up trying to work it out ourselves.
Yes.
And I heard a great quote that said the best way to stay poor is to keep taking advice from poor people on how to get rich. And I'm like, man, that was heavy. And it made me think, well, another good way to stay poor is to keep taking advice from ourselves about subjects that we don't know anything about.
Say it.
Man, we take advice from ourselves so much on things that we don't know nothing about. And then we'll go get advice from other people that don't know nothing about it either.
It's so funny you say that. I remember the first time I started looking at the stock market. And I was trying to understand it, and I remember talking to a couple people, and nothing against, no shade at no stockbrokers, it's sort of like real estate agents, right? No shade, right?
Yes, no shade.
No shade, because all we doing is teaching people that you can do it for yourself, right? And at the end of the day, guess what? I started looking, and I was like, why am I going to listen to somebody who don't have what I'm shooting for? Man, come on. If I say that I want to be a millionaire, and I'm talking to this person and they're telling me, oh yeah, you can be a millionaire, but they aren't a millionaire.
Why are we even talking? I say that about financial advisors too, wealth management people, and no offense, but facts are just facts. Yeah, we can't do nothing about facts.
Exactly. So guess what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna read the books from Warren Buffett. I'm gonna read the books. I'm gonna go, okay, man, and there it is. And I love Warren Buffett said, man, there's 2 rules. He said, rule number 1, never lose money. That's rule number 1. Don't lose money. So do your homework, do what you gotta do. And guess what rule number 2 is?
What's that?
Remember rule number 1.
I almost spit my coffee out. Yeah, man.
That's from one of the richest men in the world.
Yes. And it makes sense, right? Because this is the thing. We gotta believe, man. We gotta believe. Belief is more powerful than being the knowledge, right? Belief is more powerful than the ability. Right. Yeah. But we people think that as soon as I learn how, because I don't know everything, I'll do it. And it's as soon as you believe, you're gonna figure out the how, man. You're gonna figure out how to do it. But you gotta believe first. You
have to, I get people who reach out to me, they contact me because they always want to help, and that's what I'm there for.
We help people,
help people, right? We help people, and one of the things, I did my whole debt-free thing. I was like, I'm gonna do this in 3 years or whatever, and so I found a process. I found a pattern that works for me, and so one of the things, and I'm telling folks, listen. Just what Gene said, you gotta believe, and the first step of believing, that's that faith thing, Yes. And it's like, what? Faith says, believing in the substance of the unknown, right? I can't see it, but the evidence of, man, it's real. And so the reality is that I would say to people, okay, I got a book for you to read. And I would say, read this book. Now, here's the thing. If they read the book, then I would be like, okay, they real. They ready to do this thing. They ready to change their life. If they didn't read it, then, they didn't believe. So it was like, it was what it was. I've had people come back, man, and say, you know what, man, that book right there changed my life. So I'm ready to move. I'm ready to go.
Yes.
Man, and the book, I got the book right here. I don't even know if y'all can see this.
Is that the richest man in the world? I knew you was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yes, the richest man in Babylon. You said that way a few years ago when we was.
Hey, exactly. Hey, and I stand by it. And look,
Yeah.
it ain't big, folks. So
Not
you
at
know
all.
what? You want to get your money right? Start right here.
Boom.
Hey, that's a nugget for you. Yeah.
Bam. I mean,
That's
real
a nugget
talk.
for you.
And see, that's the whole thing too, man. If it's the law of entropy, if
Yes.
things that are left unto themselves will lean towards chaos. I mean, that's a law of nature. And so we need some sort of outside effect to influence what we got going on now. Right.
Absolutely.
And that's information, coaching, a community. I mean, we need an outside influence. I mean, think about Michael Jordan. He had a coach. That's an outside influence.
Absolutely.
Kobe. I mean, all the greats. So Ike, speaking of coaches, what do you do, man, for a living? That value you bringing, man.
Absolutely, man. You know what? And so, as Gene said, I actually have two businesses. My first business is I own an AV company. We provide installs, production, you name it, all that good stuff. We are the premier regional AV install in this region. But the other thing that I do is I'm able to go out and train professional development and personal development as well. I am there. I mean, I get an opportunity to go work in companies, and bring some quality. As a matter of fact, I saw one of our folks online here who was actually one of my students from the company she worked for.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
I on her, I'm loving it. But that's what we do. We talk about those things, and like I tell people, man, I start out with basically leadership qualities. I train on conflict resolution. I train on communication. I train I've even done a stress class. I talk. I train helping people just be better at what they are. You talk about the keys to success, teaching people how to really take those keys. Now, here's the thing: we giving you a key, but you got to use it.
Woo! You got to put that thing in the lock,
the door, right?
Yeah, then turn the doorknob and push. Usually,
and push, right. So it ain't enough to just say, "Oh, there's the keys." Well, you got to use it. When we talk about those keys to success, whether it's perseverance, man, that's a big one. Whether it's being goal oriented, whether it's being self-aware, and that's what DISC starts you out with. DISC starts you out with self-awareness. I mean, before you can do anything, before you can do everything, you got to know who you are and what you are about, so that you can go in and use those skills, man. Come on, resilient. Be willing to take a risk, because that's the other thing. When we think about introverts and extroverts are more prone to take risks, whereas introverts are not as prone to take risks. Now, guess what? That's what I had to learn about me, self-awareness. I had to learn that as an introvert, I wasn't prone to take risks. So I started taking calculated risks. Now I'm in a position that I'm like, okay, and it's still calculated.
Right.
So, but I know that I got to take a risk every once in a while. And that's but you got to learn how to do that.
Yeah, you're just less risk averse as you've taken more and more calculated risks. But like you said, extroverts take action. And I was talking to my inner circle about this the other day. It's like, we will look at some people and we just look and we know, like, okay, I'm way smarter than this person, but that person is way richer than me.
Yes.
They got way more money than me, but I know I'm smarter than this person.
Exactly.
Well, you might be, but the difference is that person is an action taker.
Yes.
That person is an action taker, so it seems like, quote unquote, dumber people take action, a lot more. And I take a lot of action. So I'm talking about myself with this, but
and that's what it is. And so what we, and that's the beautiful thing about this. What we learn is that based on your style, based on your behavior, you learn that, oh, you know what, this is what I am. This is how I roll. So now I know how to use that so that I can take action and do what I have to do. It reminds me of the movie Hitch. And when you think about the movie Hitch, when Will, is like, hey, let's go jump off some bridges, right? Let's go jump. I mean, it's like before, man, I got a plan, and that's the difference. is that I will sit up here and plan every step and go, okay, now I'm gonna do it. And that's a risk to me, because if the unknown is anywhere in that plan, I'm a little uncomfortable, right? But I know that, okay, you know what? Okay, I think I'm gonna be all right. I think I'm gonna be all right. You know, whereas a risk taker, what they do, they just kind of jump out there and go, well, you know what? If it's wrong, it won't kill me.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's got to be certain factors in place to, to take action. And one of the factors is it's possible.
It's possible.
I mean, but see, then it goes back to that self-awareness of, I know myself. And just like when I got this information, I knew what I was going to do with the right information. And so I was willing to do whatever it took to get the information. I had to make it happen first, because I couldn't just buy it. You know what I mean? And so, so that disc, you said, like, knowing ourselves and how other people perceive us.
Yes.
I got students of mine that are in my roundtable, and that's who gets the disc, when they come into the Go Getter family. Now, when you guys register for the live event, however, you're going to get a disc assessment in your email, and we want you to take that. You get an 18-page report, I think it is. Is it 18-page report? Yeah, you get an 18-page report, and we want you to print that out and bring that with you to the event, because Ike's going to be doing a disc debrief. Now, that's going to be live. So this is the thing with the self-awareness part, right? Some of my students that take that disc, they look at themselves one way. They have a perception of themselves one way. And then when they get the disc back and you see how other people may perceive you, it's like, it's a totally different perspective view, It's like, man, I didn't know.
And that's why we do that debrief, so that we bring it in, so that it all becomes one line. And so then everybody's like, okay, this is what they see, this is what I see. And we're able to even put language. That's the beautiful thing about all of this, being able to put language with what we, there's, you go through life saying, man, somebody says, tell me about yourself. You're just like, well, I like to do this, I like to do that. Well, guess what this does? You ain't ever got to guess. You're gonna have stuff, descriptors, definitions, things that will tell you. You'll be like, man, this is me. I'm very careful. I'm very cautious. I'm very pointed. I mean, you get to say that, and oh man, you learn so much about you. And then you learn how to navigate that thing through the world, and through if real estate ain't what it is for you, then guess what? It takes you through life. I mean, whatever your job is, the real estate part is to give you your own, so that you ain't got to turn to somebody else. You ain't got to depend on somebody else. You depending on you. And again, it's just another tool that we're trying to give you to make this thing work for you.
Absolutely. And this is the thing, man. I always say that truth is universal, so it's just the small details and the nuance in between that changes, that makes the differences. And there's a real estate specifically, but when you come into the Go Getter family, that's why the disc, it's played a critical role for me personally. And then you've trained my team, a few different times. I mean, we just had a high level training where I took my entire team to Colorado to a cabin for a boot camp, and you did a 2-hour training with the 6 working geniuses, and that was eye opening. But so with that, having these different personalities, because you got to think, if we look at ourselves one way, and then there's an outside perspective or perception that the world has of who we are, well, there's those other different personalities, and they look at themselves one way, right? And we look at them another way. So the disc, being able to see those indicators of certain behaviors, and then knowing how to put language to it and articulate that, man, it puts you at a different level, and you're playing a different game. Yep, you're playing a different game. You're playing a different game, man.
Absolutely. I mean, and I remember the first time I met you. Remember, we was talking about how we was gonna strategize, and you was like, "Man, we playing chess, and they playing checkers."
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. We're getting ready to put you on a level that you are playing chess and no longer playing checkers. And guess what? And once you get out of that, we're going to take you to a whole nother level because you can be there. I mean, we are living proof of what we are trying to tell you, what we're trying to show you. I mean, like I said, I got students on you know, I didn't know they was gonna be on you know,
on the live tonight.
And so guess what? Bang, she's on her, right? So and that's the thing. And what we're trying to tell you is that, you know, you know, I was actually, because somebody had reached out to me and asked me, they had saw some of the posts and stuff, and they said, man, you know, I was interested in that real estate thing, and is it real? I said, well, am I real? Hey, I'm just keeping it real. Like, I'm like, I said, you asking me if it's real? I said, do you know me to be real? Because if I'm real and you see that I'm promoting and I'm doing and I'm getting ready to, you know, be a part, what do you think? And so I said, I ain't trying to be funny. I'm, you know, but it is the thing. I said, because here's the thing. What few people realize is I remember day one. You know, and we've talked about this before. I was there day one. I remember the studying that Gene was doing. I remember, you know, when he was diving deep in and he was learning this process and learning and understanding. And the thing of it is what we've come to realize is that there is a group of people that don't want you to know the secrets. Man. They don't want you to know, because guess what? They want to keep it all to themselves. They don't want you to be a part of the 1%. And here's the thing. When you come to Houston, folks, listen to me. When you come to Houston, I got the secret to be the 1%. And that's what I'm going to leave the stage with. So guess what? I ain't going to talk about it tonight, because you're going to have to come and get that.
Yeah. You got to come get the secret now to be the 1% now.
So I'm just gonna put it out there like that. But I got the one, because 1%, man, they don't want you to know. But Gene said, you know what, folks, I'm telling you, Gene figured it out, man. He worked his butt off to get in there. I remember Gene going into the courthouse. I remember Gene going into the city halls. I remember, folks, I'm not telling you what I don't know. I'm telling you what I do know. And the frustrations he had trying to learn and understand, you know, the legalese of things and contracts. Oh, man, come on, man. I done got hyped.
You got hype. Yeah, look, you was about to come out that sweater like, hey, it's getting hot up in here.
Hey, them flames, I see them flames over there, folks. Y'all too hot up in here for me, man. Come on.
So this is the thing, and this is what I understand about this too, right? Because when I first saw, you know, the strategy that has changed my entire life, man, changed everything about it, man. Every millisecond of my life has changed. But when I first saw it, I'm like, man, there's no way. They ain't just gonna let you, you know, the banks ain't gonna let you do that and that. I don't know, you know. So I do understand the disbelief, you know, initially, but that's why I'm always, you know, my entire journey has been documented, you know, and then I put those receipts out there of other people, not just me, you know, other people who are getting results with these strategies. And so, you know, with that though, here's the thing now. If we don't know the rules to the game, we can't play the game and play it to win. You know, we can be in the game, I guess, playing, but if we're not playing by the right rules, we'll never win the game. And those rules are suppressed. And so once we find the information, the key for me is, if I'm not getting results right now that I want to get, that just means that I've got to develop some new skills that I don't currently have, so I can get the results that I can't currently get. So if I develop the skills with the new information, well, then I guess I might fly first class everywhere.
Come on.
I do now. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, and so we don't got to talk about these dreams anymore. They don't have to be pipe dreams and daydreams and pie in the sky things. If we are around the right information and we're willing to get outside of our comfort zone, you know, and that's one of the three killers of success, our comfort zone, you know, and develop them new skills, man. We're going to get there, you know.
Hey, you know what? And that's exactly it. I remember when the first time you got to see the ocean. man.
Oh yeah.
It was part of the process, part of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I'm like, hey, go for it, man. Keep doing your thing. Keep making it work. And that's what it is. Being able to take and like Gene said, showing those receipts. Because guess what? Gene is a receipt of what I offer. I mean, that is it right there. Guess what? If it ain't real, folks, you don't see this happening right now. If it ain't real.
Yep. Not at this level, man. Straight up. And that, man, you said it. I'm a receipt for what Ike does, And I remember, oh, this is crazy. Now, God, I remember when you were working to get your DIS certification, man. Yes. I remember that.
Hey, isn't that beautiful? You got two young men who done tried, who've had a journey through this life, and we meet in some crazy happenstance way. And then guess what? We both are in a different place, man, doing it, like you said, flying first class. I remember, man, folks, listen. I remember the first time I showed Jen, I think it was what, $10,000, $15,000 check.
Yep, I remember that.
It was like, bro, I'm doing it, man. Here it is. And now, guess what? Man, I'm so booked. Folks, listen, I'm booked all the way through May now. I can't. And calls are still coming in just because of what we do. And that's just to say, it's not bragging, folks. It's just to let you know that, when you are about your business and you mean business, what? You got two people. You don't have to try to figure out how to go anymore. You don't have to figure it out for yourself. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Man, we've got the plan. We've got it here for you. All you got to do is decide. This is what I'm going to do.
Yep, make a decision.
Make a decision, take those keys. And guess what? One key is going to be this. So you got to take that key, use that key. And then he's going to give you all the other stuff that you have. I mean, and it's out there,
Yeah. And see, this is how it played out right here, man. We met in that happenstance way, but we were two high-level individuals in our own right. This is why the Go-Getter family right here, this is the essence of why the Go-Getter family community is so freaking important, because you and I met, and as separate people, independent of each other, didn't know each other prior to that, but we're two high-level individuals in our own right, and we were both at new opportunities in our life in that moment, right? And so we were, at that time, we were playing to win. And what other people do is they play not to lose.
There it is.
Yeah, we were playing to win, man. Yeah, yeah, for real.
Folks, y'all don't even know what he just said.
Man.
Gene, they don't know, man. They don't know.
We was playing to win, man.
That's exactly it. We was playing to win, recognize that both of us was winners, and guess what? We was like, you know what? For those that's just playing not to lose, we're going to leave y'all back there, and we're going to keep moving forward. So today, guess what you have? Two winners.
Yeah, two winners. And here's the thing. This is the thing. It wasn't that long ago, y'all. It was not that long ago. It was only for me when I got my first house. That was about 2 years, 9 months ago now or so. It hasn't been that long. And so once we make that decision to play the game to win it and stop just playing not to lose, then we're going to take those calculated risks. We're going to put ourselves in the spaces and are in proximity to people who can uplift us, right? And so Ike was in that spot in his life. I was in that spot in my life, and he was doing what he was doing. I was doing what I was doing. And then it comes back together to bring value. That's why the Go-Getter family community is so important, because there is different personalities, different skill sets, different abilities. But when we bring some of that together, then big things can happen. And that's why I'm a receipt for Ike, and Ike was just starting out. So shit, I'm kind of a big receipt now.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, shoot, a huge receipt.
It ain't no
little receipt. That's a huge receipt, shoot. And the flip side of it is that, like, and my girl I see her online, Abin, is that guess what? After her going through a class, I'm like, hey, I got somebody you should meet. Somebody you should, tap into. So guess what? That's
how Bond got in the Go-Getter family.
Absolutely. And so it all works because guess what? It's like, and I continue. I'm like, hey, you know what? If people say that they want something different in life, if people say that they want something, you know, I don't know if this works for you or don't work for you, but I can tell you what, I know somebody who can give you an option and give, you know, and you know what? Reach out, check it out, see what it's about. And I'm gonna tell you, right? If you work the program and do it, it may happen to you. So absolutely, absolutely.
It's gonna work if you follow the process. And so that's why the How to Break the Real Estate Money Code event in Houston on February 22nd is gonna be so life-changing, man, earth-shattering. Now I'm trying to tell y'all, because Ike, like y'all heard, Ike does owns the AV company now. And he spoke at my first event and did the audio and I think, and then I had David doing kind of the setup, right? I had the jerry rig, you know, I had to get a favor from Ike, and then so this is the thing. Regular everyday people, right? I mean, you know, if you are the person who, you know, you wake up every morning, man, that alarm clock goes off. You might even hit snooze a couple of times before you get up, because, you know, when you get up, you know what you're facing. And it's not something that you're really keen about facing that day, but you get up anyway. You wake them kids up, you get them ready for school, man, get them prepared. You're rushing to get to your job, you know, and you got to get there on time. So you're driving all tense. You know what I mean? The person in front of you just happens to be going 20 miles under the speed limit when you're running a few minutes behind, right? You're about to get another strike at work, you know, and if you're that person and, you know, you're tired of owing your time to someplace else, your life force, really, man, your energy, who you are. Ike and I really are testaments to that change from up out of the mud, you know, and now doing it at a high level, not only in, you know, where we are from or where we were at, but around the country, you know. And so that's why us being in Houston together to give our two specialties at a high level with the information, it's about as real as you're going to get for a workshop. Because it ain't just going to be motivation and we going to pump you up and then we're trying to sell you something. We want y'all to be like us. I mean, the results, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you know what? And that's what I love about it. Folks, listen, when you sign up for the event, guess what? You've already bought me. So that you know, you already, because now we finna do the work. So that's the beauty of it right there. Guess what? You getting ready, that man, you already got, so you get ready to do the work. You get ready to get what you need so that you can do whatever you need. I love the example what Gene said. You know what? There's an old African proverb, and it says that it doesn't matter whether you are the lion or the antelope. When the sun comes up, you better be running. Think about that, folks. Think about it. Now you running. It don't matter if you are the lion or the antelope. You better be running. And you know what? Because guess what? Either he gonna get you or you gonna get away.
One of the two.
Right. He gonna eat you or you. I mean, you gotta be running. And if you gotta be running, run to something that's gonna help you. Run to something that's gonna make you do what you gotta do. Absolutely.
Yes. Why would you not, right? Because this is it, guys. And you know, I don't want to speak on Ike's pockets, but we could probably compare checks again and they'd be similar, you know, and I ain't doing too bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, matter of fact, and this is the thing too. Now I had Ike come out and train, do that 2-hour training for my team on the 6 working geniuses, because my team, everybody that comes in on my team, I have them take a disc, you know, and they get that 18-page report. We go over that so that they can, you know, work at their strengths and we don't focus on their weaknesses. So I did that 2-hour training for the 6 working geniuses, which was a level up for us. Yes. But shoot, I asked Ike, shit, how much do you charge? I don't want a discount, none of that, because I know you know I want to pay you to get that professional service that has you, you know, nationally renowned for what you do. And I wouldn't have it any other way. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And that's the way we gotta operate. If we want a certain product or a service at a particular level, well, we definitely pay for what we get, you know, like, we get what we pay for. But if we want those chains of financial freedom to fall off of us, well, those chains, they got to fall off of us first.
That's it.
Then they fall off of the finances.
Man. Hey, and that's it. I was I have a couple of customers that I'm doing some work with, and actually one of them, Reagan Cody, who's on the Facebook Live, she talked about I've been working with her board, and then I have another young lady here local. She owns the company Coffee King, and just bought it, but she's developing her team, and she was just like, man, we got to do this thing. And she was just talking the other day, again, giving those receipts, letting the group know, hey, this is what it's about. We trying to do this thing. And I'm telling you, man, and she's just on fire herself anyway, because she's all about, growth and personal development. But it's really pouring into your team as you build your teams, as people, this is the start of it. It's the start of getting and letting people understand, because again, those qualities of success, it is that perseverance. It is being goal-oriented. Again, that self-awareness that you have. You got to start there.
Yes.
Resilience, empathy. Really understand what empathy is, because guess what, folks? You're going to have to face other people, and you need to understand what it's like to be in their position and all those things, and I always love it because folks, people don't realize, and I could tell so many stories about Gene. You remember when you was on that first conference and y'all took the tour, and then you knocked on the door or the person was acting a fool in the house.
Yes, that's all over the internet.
But guess what? It was like Gene handling it like a pro. Okay, hey, yes. Because guess what? It's gonna be this way. So and then he was able to come and teach. It was a teachable moment for the class and for those folks to be able to say, guess what? You're gonna run into this. You're gonna so you need to have empathy. That competitiveness, that patience. Confidence. We talked the other day about some of the qualities of a leader, man. That confidence, you gotta have that confidence. And guess what? You can't have confidence if you don't know who you are.
Ooh, that was a bar right there. That was. Now you can't even have. That's what I tell my students. That we spend so much time trying to get somebody, make somebody think we are who we want them to think that we are. We spend our time and energy doing that, trying to make you think I'm somebody instead of being worried about who we think we are. If we're worried more about who we think we are, then none of that matters. That we're good. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. And so I want you guys to think about this, because that confidence part, it's about being confident in your competence. So you're going to get the knowledge and the systems, right? The paperwork, knowledge, the systems to be able to execute this and implement this and get it done. But here's the thing. If you want to scale your business, right? If you want to grow your business, one, you're going to have more touches with people. There's got to be more touches with people, more communication. The other thing is, and see, with what we do, we can get virtual assistants that can fill those holes where we're weak. It doesn't even matter if it is the talking to people part. We can get virtual assistants at a very low cost to do the outbound calls or inbound calls, or if we need a transaction coordinator or office manager virtual assistant. But it's about being able to recognize that person's behaviors in that interview when you're talking with them to see if that's going to be their strength. Because if we pick the wrong team, and trust me, y'all, I've been through a lot of people now. I'm talking about, and I'm hard to work for now. I know that. I'm hard to work for. I ain't even gonna sit up here and try to fake it. But still, I've been through a lot of the wrong people. And that is very, very costly for a business and energy wise. So that's where the DISC is huge with the Break the Money Code event, because you're gonna get the knowledge, tools, systems, but then you're gonna get that DISC that's gonna help you to scale that business.
Absolutely,
man.
And I don't, folks don't realize that, how often and how many times have we been doing a debrief and the spouse or partner or whoever is watching, and they're like, man, I got to do this.
Yeah.
I got to do this, and so because they realize that value and understanding that, man, you know what? I just need to know and then you know what, I can move from that piece and from that area, man. That's huge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, being able to communicate right with people and yourself, because what we don't know, there's a book, one of my favorite books. It's Dr. Alex Lickerman's Undefeated Mind, right? That's in my top 3. Yeah. It's a great book, man. It's Undefeated Mind for me, Think and Grow Rich, and then the Bible. You know what I mean? So them are my top 3. Yeah. Yeah. Them are my top 3. But Alex Lickerman, oh yeah, okay. Oh, what, that Think and Grow Rich?
Think and Grow Rich. I got
yeah. Hey man, that thing's a classic. But Dr. Alex Lickerman says that most people, and this is a peer-reviewed study here now, most people overestimate their own capability. Ooh. We overestimate it. Yes, we think we are better than what we are. And yes, and that was heavy now. I had to self-reflect when I read that. I had to self-reflect.
That's like, real heavy. That's real heavy. I had a young lady just tell me today, she was kind of, you know, giving me my flowers, and she said, you know, like, one thing that I love about you is I love the fact that you're humble. And it speaks to that right there, you know, really understanding, you know what, man, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still trying to get this thing. And so it speaks right to that.
Yes, we've always got to be in that position, man. And the way I look at it as is gratitude, right?
Yes.
Gratitude, because when I feel like, anyway, and this is a strictly opinion, that if we're overestimating our abilities and our capabilities, that means that we're chasing things that we want, right? That we want, that we think that we don't have, that we lack. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And see, we weren't even put on this earth to even know the experience of lack.
Yes.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Yeah, we really, like, we weren't put here to even understand what lack is. So where gratitude comes in is if we are thankful, man, just thankful for even the littlest of things, because that little thing being different or not being there could have a seismic effect on what our circumstances are in the moment. So instead of focusing on the things that we want, that we don't have, you know, that we think that we lack, if we can switch that, man, make that adjustment to focusing on things that we're thankful for.
Yes.
Thankful for, man, what is there, what is here that is good, that's helping me make it through this moment? Because I'm gonna have to get through the moment irregardless. Irrespective. Yeah. So what is good about it? So that way I can focus on gratitude and focus on my abundance and not my limitations, man.
Ooh-wee.
It's Sunday, man. I had to try to get me old amen in there. Now I ain't seen no amen in the comments. So.
Absolutely. That's exactly it.
I'm telling you, man. We do that though. If you think about it, Ike, right? When we're trying something new, anything like with what we do. I remember when you ran for city council. You know what I mean? And we had, me and you talked, you know, a few times throughout that race, because it was a battle, man. It was a fight. And you know what a lot of people do though, instead of going after new opportunities like that, they'll look at the limitations that exist.
Yes.
That's the very first thing we look at. Why can't I? What is there that's stopping me in the obstacles? And so I'll focus on my limitations. And in order to focus on my limitations, I got to walk right around my abundance.
There it is.
To get to focus on them limitations, man. It's insane.
It is. And like you said, it goes to you playing, if you try not to lose or you trying to win.
Yup. That is it. Yup. Damn.
That's where it's at right there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's making it simple right there. You playing to win, or are you playing not to lose? Because you focusing on those limitations. And so I don't want to keep you on here all night. I know, man, it seemed like it only been 15 minutes now.
I know, right?
It's in almost an hour. Now we got the How to Break the Real Estate Money Code, you know, coming up in about 18 days. I think tomorrow will be 17 days left. It's February 22nd through the 25th in Houston, Texas. There's going to be the live event, and the seats are running low on that now, you know, so because we can only fit 150 people in the room, and then there is the virtual, y'all. So if you want to be there live, there's only a limited number that we got, and them things is flying off the shelf. 2 people have got tickets since Ike and I've been on here, as a matter of fact. Now I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. But I said that to say, you know, what will the people be able to leave with from your portion, man, and your specialty at the How to Break the Real Estate Money Code event?
Absolutely. You know, what they're going to walk away with is one, like I just said, you know, knowing yourself. We're going to help you get to know yourself, know who you are, know why you do what you do. We're going to, you know, also help you leave with knowing how to understand other people when you are out trying to do what you do and you are dealing with others. You're going to be able to walk away saying, you know what, I recognize it, I can identify it, and now I can move forward in it. You know, those are those things that you're gonna really be able to do. So you're gonna have, you know, some negotiating skills will come out of this. You're gonna be able to, you know, I mean, just be able to recognize and identify. You know, when we finish, like I said, you'll be able to take some stuff to your, you know, if you still work for somebody, you'll be able to take some stuff straight up to your boss, your supervisor, your manager, and be able to say, hey, this is who I am. This is how I need to be managed. This is how I need to be motivated. All of those things, you know, you'll understand. We'll put that language to the things that you've always wanted to know and didn't understand. You're gonna walk out a new person. I promise.
Yes.
You.
Yeah. A whole new person. Yes, a better communicator for sure. Absolutely. So, well, if y'all don't have any questions now for me and old Ike on here now, we got about 17 days until the live event, man, and I'm looking forward to it because there's going to be a lot of high level individuals from around the country in that room, you know, and then we've got Johnny Lynham coming in teaching his 3-step multifamily mastery, and he's got a $14.4 million portfolio now.
Yes,
so
sir.
We're in different rooms, y'all, than where me and Ike started a couple of years ago. We're just in different rooms now. And guess what? Ike spoke at my first event that I had in Sioux City, where he talked about, I took him on that tour of some of my properties. Then I had that little run in with those squatters. But so he helped me out at that event. And he's speaking at this event. And guess what? I'm flying him in first class. Now,
yes,
you know, that's just how we roll. Yeah.
That is. I mean, hey, look, the ladder. Keep going up the ladder.
That's it, man. That's it. And it's a joy doing it. It's because we bring value to other people. That's
Absolutely.
It. About bringing value, man. So I appreciate you, man, coming on here tonight, dropping these gems for the people. Do you have any last words, man? Any gem you want to leave with the people before we get on up out of here?
Absolutely. Like I said, you know, I really, really, first and foremost, you know, thank you, Gene. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for, you know, putting on this and these opportunities. I love these opportunities because I love to see, you know, when I first started doing this, it's kind of funny because my mentor in the disc world, you know, she was trying to understand because she didn't believe I was an introvert either. And then when she saw, she's like, whoa. And then she saw, you know, my style, and she was like, why you do this? You know, she's like, why you do this? I mean, you could be doing a whole other stuff, but you do this. And I'm just, and you know, and I said, well, I said, because I love to see people grow, man. You know, one thing that I've come to realize is that if you're not growing, you're dying. And what I've come to realize, you know, it's like a plant. If you don't water it, if you don't talk to it, you don't give it its nurturing, it'll die. And so I like watering folks. I like nurturing folks. I like giving you what you need because as Gene, you know, said, man, these people, they don't want you to know the secrets. They don't want you to know it because they want to keep it for themselves. I want to see you have it. I come from the other side of the tracks, folks. And when I tell you I come from the other side of the tracks, where you had to fight, claw, run, whatever you had to do to do what you got to do, I no longer am on that side of the track. If you from Dallas, Texas, and I saw somebody say they was from Dallas, guess what? I'm from One Ton. You know, look it up, One Ton. And they'll let you know, yes, man.
You gave that shout out of the hood. Okay.
Hey, absolutely. Bonton represent up in here. And guess what? You know what, man? I'm living life. I went out and paid for a truck. Boom, $30,000 gas money. So, you know, I mean, that's what it is. I ain't tripping no more, like you said. And it ain't about the money, folks. It's about seeing and doing those things. The money is just the result of, you know, being able to put in the work. And when they say, Gene said this, if you believe it, folks, and you know what, we've come to a place where we believe and we speak it. And right now, whatever it is, you wouldn't be here if you didn't have some desire, if you didn't have some desire to just be just a little bit better than where you are. And that is what my hope is, that it was my prayer is for you, for me, for Gene, for everybody connected. Oh, see, Maurice Butler talking about South Oak Cliff and Douglas. Great, baby, I went to Lincoln, brother. So, you know.
Wow, okay, talk that talk. Maurice in my inner circle too. Huh?
I see you, Maurice. Hey, look, Ramel, Sunny Sound Valley. Hey, them my folks right there, Sunny Sound. Hey, Rochester Park, baby. So you know what I'm talking about. And look at me today, brother.
Hey, I love it. I love it.
That's where it's at, right? Hey, and man, I'm living good. You know, I got it. I mean, and so I just leave that with the folks. You know what? I mean, be hungry. Be hungry. And guess what? When you're hungry, you got somebody here who is ready to feed you.
Man. That's it. Yeah, you gotta be, because one thing about it, you know, I'm not gonna shove that spoon down your throat now. I used to, because this is the thing, guys, you know, every master was once a disaster. Yes, every master was once a disaster. Now, because you don't wake up an expert in something that's new, a new opportunity. So I didn't even set out to be a coach. Ike knows that, because I told him. He talked to me about another opportunity. I was like, nah, man, I plan on getting wealthy in real estate. You
Absolutely.
know? Yeah. So I was a new coach at one time, and so I didn't know how to be a coach. So there's people, you know, that I drug across the finish line of success.
Yes, sir.
I drug them kicking and screaming now, and now that's probably what drove me half nuts. Now half of it, at least 50% of it. Now, so but yeah, and so I don't drag people across the finish line of success anymore. No. But what I will do, and what the Go Getter family community does, is that if you are in that marathon towards success and you fall out from exhaustion because you're tired, man, it's just a lot, you know. Absolutely. We'll pick you up and we will carry you across the finish line of success. Absolutely. That's what we will do. Absolutely. You know? Yeah.
And that's the beauty of what I'm gonna bring to that, to the team, and what I bring to that is that I am giving you what you need so that you don't get tired. You know how to mitigate and navigate. So guess what? You'll be like, okay, this is what I need to do. When I'm stressed, I recognize what that is. When I'm overwhelmed, I recognize what that is. Man, folks, man, I'm telling you, you know what? Don't miss it.
I'm trying to tell them. I told, man, Ike, remember we had that first event, man, and y'all was like, man, we got to take this on the road, man.
Hey, we saw it. We saw that value. I mean, it was nothing like it. Seriously, I mean, it was one of those things that it was like, because Gene had a vision, and he was like, man, I want to do this. And, you know, we like, hey, well, you know what? And because I had the AV and what I love, guess what? I was working for the company at that time. And I was like, you know what? I got this. We'll make it work. You know, we'll do this and do this. Yeah. Guess what, folks? I own the company now. March 7th, 2023, I bought the company.
Yes, I seen it in the newspaper too. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, and everybody's coming. I mean, people like, you know what, man? Every Friday I got to do payroll and all those things. You know, trying to figure. And the other thing, and I just want to say this again. It's not that I'm bragging, but folks, I put in the work, and I'm at a place now. You know what? And to my Dallas folks, guess what? And they know where I'm from. Guess what, folks? I'm a TEDx speaker.
Yeah, so is TEDx.
You know, TEDx. Look, the receipts are out there. I put in the work, and now I'm at a place where I do get to name my price. I do get to.
Yep. And that's a good place to be. That's a good place to be. Yeah, absolutely. Great place. You said great place, man. Great place. Think about it. We're no longer, guys, in a position where we have to sell our time in order to make money to survive, because there is a finite amount of time in a day. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. And so if you got to sell that in order to make money, and that your only skill is a skill that your employer trained you to do so that he could pay you, he or she could pay you, you don't have any assets. You
None.
are somebody else's asset.
That's it.
Oh, you're somebody else's asset. And the problem with that for me is that you are too high level for it. You have too many skills to be putting yourself in that position. And
Absolutely.
so it's only us who is going to make that conscious decision and give possibility the benefit of the doubt and jump out there and get that refinement and understand that there is a learning curve. Every master was once a disaster. I'm not going to know everything in one day, in one sitting. That's why this 4-day event, y'all, we're having it at the Sheridan North Houston Intercontinental. It's literally 2 minutes away from the airport. You're not coming to go sightseeing in Houston.
Right.
Are we coming to break the real estate money code?
That's it.
You'll literally be able to leave with $1 million business setup, y'all, and to be able to build that team.
Absolutely. And guess what? There's people who don't want you to know it, but you get ready to get it. You get ready. Come on.
Get ready to get it. And then being able to put a team together behind it to scale it, y'all. So dude, let's get out here and get this bag, y'all. But hey, Ike, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. The people love it now. The people love it now. Look, hey, you got people going back to the mid 80s and everything.
That's where we used to skip schools, senior skip day.
Love it. Love it. See, that's what, man, the Go-Getter family, y'all, it's going to be like this Breaking the Real Estate Money Code event is going to be like a big family reunion. But instead of arguing and fussing, we're going to be talking about making big old bags of money and how we're going to spend our time and the money that we're able to accumulate by helping other people.
Yes.
Man, what? It don't even get no better than that.
Absolutely.
Helping other people. Ethical capitalism, y'all. So, man, I appreciate you, man. I'm super excited about, the upcoming event. We got that VIP dinner out and rented us out the room at Perry's Steakhouse, man. So they make some good steaks, brother. They make some good steaks. Now,
looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward. Thank you,
I'm super excited. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, man. So guys, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new to my channel, you feel like I brought you some value tonight, I want you to consider subscribing. I'll put Ike's information in the description of this video, but if you want to register for the live event, all right, the link is in the description. There's also a virtual too. So if you can't make it all the way to Houston, get on that internet, get this game, the workbook, the disc, the multifamily. Y'all, let's get out here and make 2024 a different year. So I'm out of here. Y'all already know what it is. Till next time, let's get to it, y'all.
I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We